Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy Christmas Eve day as I'm recording and doing some last minute shopping. And one of the things I wanted to do in downtown is walk around the Plus 15 network and see how things were decorated. But a few months ago, I was walking around and saw that here in the Centennial Parkade in downtown Calgary, which is between 8th Avenue Place and Western Canadian Place. No, there's still some of this Udderly Art Legacy. Yeah, and another sign of getting old, and I'll show when on display and all the information on it that it was over 25 years ago, as we're heading to 2025, that there were 140 of these cows all over the city, and the buzz it created, and eventually some of them were sold for various charities. So some of the cows are on display here in the parkade, so I'll just walk around and show you each of the cows that are still around. And on winter break, I have some time to do a little staycation, so I'll get this part done and then flip around the camera and let's take a look at the cows that are still on display and share the information of the history of this art display that we have on here. And I just still remember the buzz we created, and this is before social media. So imagine if this happened today, where suddenly there's cows over the city. So I'll get on to the showing you what's still on display. Anyway, let's start the Udderly Art Legacy Cow Tour that's still on display in the Centennial Parkade. And one other tidbit I can share with the Plus 15 network in Calgary is it connects many of the buildings within downtown, so you can walk around aimlessly freely their lunchtime to connect buildings or stay out of the elements, especially if it's hot or cold or out. But you can see the west on the sign there. That means the mountains, the Rocky Mountains to the west. And then this is where it connects the Centennial Parkade and 8th Avenue Place. Well, on the other side, you see this building representing east. That shows the Fort Calgary in the east, and then the north you'd see fish. That means the Bow River. And then you see train tracks to the south. That represents the train line on 9th Avenue. But let's get to the cows at hand. And from this view, you can see one of them, but this one is actually called Cow Bell. I know some of these names are funny and cheesy, as Will Ferrell on Saturday Night Live, there's always need more cowbell, but we have Bell as in E-L-L-E at the end. So this design, looks all similar, and this is just a small sample of the cows that are still on display. So here's Cow Bell, and here you get a nice panoramic view of the Calgary skyline. This is the Centennial Parkade. As I mentioned, connects both 8th Avenue Place and Western Canadian Place. So just continue with this mural. It's not too busy, but I always want to work around subjects. And you can see the plaque commemorating the opening of the Centennial Parkade. And then right here, this also shows the Skywalk network in Calgary for the Plus 15. And they say it's one of the largest in the world, and there's over 16 kilometers. If you were to walk all of it, I'm planning on checking out a lot of it for Christmas Eve, see Christmas decorations. But you see, this is where I am, Centennial Parkade, Western Canadian Place. So back with the cows, as you can see, we're facing 9th Avenue. Well, this one is called Moon Trader, as in trading in the stock market. This definitely looks dated. I'm seeing remember those screens before flat screens, and you can see it's more discolored, even more being exposed to the elements. Let me keep in mind that some of these all these cows are 25 years old. Shows you I'm getting old and dated, but here's the Moon Trader. That's all those cheap, funny cow themed names. Well, Friday night's Christmas Eve. So there's a Christmas cow here called Jingle Bell, and once again, like the cowbell, B-E-L-L-E. So here's Jingle Bell. You know, of course, the red nose for Rudolph. Maybe this would be a backup for Santa when he does his, annual worldwide trek with reindeer. And of course, you can see the Calgary Tower. I mean, this is the 9th Avenue right here, where you see the train line, and this is also where the parade route goes for the annual Stampede Parade, the greatest outdoor show on the earth. So yeah, you can see there's more cows going down, and this is the legacy of what's still around before we continue on. So this shows like all the information behind the Udderly Art. And the next one will show how the herd was born, and it shows all the pictures of over 140 cows, and this is just a small sample of them. As you can see, this one's called Bovine with a cost, or a cause I should say. And it has the Safeway logo on there. But here's the whole gallery of how the herd was born. As I mentioned, you can read about it right here, about the legacy, how it came to be. I mean, as I mentioned back in the year 2000, and we're heading into 2025, so this is a quarter century. So I remember these being everywhere, but all over downtown and the various attractions. So I'll just show this enough so you can read all about it, but raise some money for charities, and there were a lot of memorabilia, as I mentioned here, in a book. I don't remember buying a book, but I mean, keep in mind, back in 2000, I was 18 and wasn't quite out and about fully yet, but there's apparently something similar was in Chicago, so that inspired cow themed, which Calgary is nicknamed as Cowtown, so I guess it's very fitting that we have cows on display. But just show all the information. But here's a sample of the cows that we can get from the. If you can work it out with the glare there, Cal Ellen, West, Aura Cal Yalis, Midnight Cowgirl. I know there's some of these funny, lame names, cow related, but this is what they look like in the out in the. I'm used to keep saying out in the field, being I'm in the engineering plant industry, but out and about. But these are all the cows that were on display. And you might recognize some of them that is still on display here, that is still left behind for the legacy. But I mean, do you have any favorite cows that you've seen right here? But imagine all the work it does to make all these cows. Oh, move over. Ha, ha, ha. Right? Cows are us. Brace are us. Move the view. And then there's also Cowabunga. It's the 90s again with Bart Simpson. And you got Z-Cow. And then you got climbing the Cowpert ladder. Well, some of these are lame or funny, but that's the permanent display they have here for all the types of cows. I mean, hopefully you get the gist of it from from the glare. Obviously, you can get all of them in here, but some of them on here is in this parkade. So it's going on in the parkade here with all these cows. This one coming up, another kind of lame name, but inspires the train theme. Choo Choo. You can see some train parts. Seep rail line, inspired by the CP line that's immediately south of us. And you can see all train parts, and even a colorful rendition of the Calgary skyline. I mean, you got the Bankers Hall, the Green Building, and the Calgary Tower. I mean, this was before the, the Bow and 8th Avenue place. You can see a couple more of information on the bovine skyline. A bull joins the bovines, so a bull got snuck in there. And bovine, the cause, I should say. This one was the one just beside here before showing all the display. Now continue on here. This one, I call this one in the cyber metal. This one kind of, distinguished the future, connected the future with the Cybertrucks, but you got a nice silver cow here. Gotta wonder if that UPC code is active on something. I don't know. But even then, you still see some circuit boards and access control on this cow right here. I mean, I'll share my pictures at the end of the video what I can get, but I got more information here, including the cow bunga for the Simpsons, Bart Simpson, the skateboard, and the spiked hair. There's Cow Bell. That was the first one that we saw coming in to the parkade. And then this one's talking about the in the cybernetic metal. So this one's a very futuristic looking cow. How we pictured the future was going to be after the turn of the millennium. Then with more cows ahead, still like another dozen to take a look at, but there's some more glossary and facts if you can make it out. Putting all one foot hoof of the other, as they say. I mean, it tells you how long ago this was, and the legacy. I said, do you remember all these cows that were sprouting up in Calgary? Heck, do you know someone that made these cows? There's Vacha Quarrens, if I said that right. Well, the sun's bright. Showing a little more that because it's kind of just like a nature themed. Get out of the city. And there's some bird watching out in the woods. Continue on with more facts here. As you say, here's the Mooney trader. The trader, the cow watching the screen. Maybe that cow was thinking of the stock market in the future then. And then you just jingle bell. Let's continue on. This one is Millennium. Very cheesy as the turn of the century going into millennium as we entered from 1999 to 2000. This one kind of seems like a mix of kind of a traditional fairy tale. And you can see the castle, and then you see an alien invasion. An old school bike. I mean, This seems like an interesting mixture of fairy tale and some future theme. Not too sure what fairy tale you can say this is inspired from, but I used to see Canada represented on the moon. But yeah, more here. See, Millennium that we're just looking at right now. So yeah, it matches a mixture of fairy tales and movies. This one is Physics of Angels. And there's a perforated cow. Yeah, thinking of a strainer. That's so. It's nice to still see some display and some of the facts. I think there's still another 6 or 7 to go that's still on display. They call this one the Birdie Piper. I can still see some old retro cartoons. Not quite sure you recognize them, but this looks like, you know, kind of a 1950s style cartoon and advertising. I will say it almost looks like, you know, can't think of Archie comic in a way. Well, yeah, this looks 1950s style. And then there's the Birdie Piper on here. Quantum Cow. That's the beauty with some art. It's just how you interpret it. And then Midnight Cowgirl talks about that as well. I try to capture. I mean, if you want to read it, I'd probably just press pause. But let's continue on the. Well, as we're getting closer towards the Western Canadian place, they call this cow Serenity. This one is, whoops. This one is up for interpretation. Definitely loves the shades of blue and purple. I can still see my progress of all the cows working my way down. I mean, this kind of just looks the same. Not too sure if you could say this is all people unified. This one, I gotta say, is up to your interpretation. But this one, I already mentioned, Adolescent Addiction Recovery Center. So, a little bit of a dark theme, but I think maybe hope for the future. And then, What Now, E-Cow? Actually, that one's going to be coming up next live when I walk over. And then you got the back of Querns. Saw that a few cows ago. So, I said that one was like kind of a nature themed, and as I say, not too sure. I mean, it looks slightly different. Keep in mind if it was out in the elements and pictures then and paint, but at least here it's somewhat protected from the elements. So this is the What Now, Ye Cow, which I'm not sure if he even said that right, but this one, not quite sure kind of thing on here in terms of the art style. Electronic cow. You see a lot of mixtures of reds, browns, and gold. So I guess, yeah, there's 2 more cows to go as we walk around here. Just trying to not get moving subjects, but it's actually not too busy. See? You can see the plus 15 west here. This one also shows a cow in front of the 2 business people if you're downtown in Calgary a lot, you always see those two businessmen just standing outside where the bay is at downtown. That one's just a clean cow right there. This gives you a information on that. Calgary oilmen, we're also known for our oil and gas industry. Like, you can always interpret what those two men standing outside the bay, what they're always talking about. And of course I gotta say the cow, and look, briefcase in the mouth. It's not just dogs I pick on when they see someone puts a video and picture of dog with something in their mouth. Well, you're getting closer towards the end. This is if you're walking in from Western Canadian Place. Of course, there's another mural of the Calgary skyline. You see this from like McView Park. Yeah, I think I've said that right, near Crescent Heights. It's Mix-Something Park. But here's the final two cows, and I'm going to say of the ones that are on display, I'm probably going to say this midnight one is the best one. And I'm going to have to say what's unique about this one. I'm going to probably say whoever took, I'm going to say this was probably a picture that someone took when they were up in the Calgary Tower at nighttime. So you can, see the, Scotia Place, Bankers Hall, and obviously you still see a little bit of the Nexus building, but it looks like, and then this one's called the Quantum Cow, and it has Manitoba on there. I think this artist that made it was from Manitoba, but this is more complicated math if you're in that kind of thing. But yeah, we're getting towards Western Canadian Place, towards the end of the Udderly Art cow display. I know it's been a longer video, but oh yeah, and here's the other side of that midnight cow. One end you got the city skyline, and then here, this could easily be somewhere outside the city where you get the Rocky Mountains, and someone on horseback near a river, or a lake, I should say. That's says Alberta all over. So yeah, there's the Quantum Cow from that display back there. This one just shows the inside of the cow and the digestive system. So I'll take one more look, and I'll show the pictures in, but I'll do a closing part of the vlog and go. And thanks for watching if you're watching up to this. Well, hopefully you enjoyed seeing the taste of the Udderly Art Legacy that was in the Centennial Parkade that's still on display in downtown Calgary, that connects both Western Canadian Place and 8th Avenue Place. And it was a longer tour, but there was a lot to share, and that was a small sample of the 140 plus cows, and it's nice to see there's still a little bit of display, and of course sharing my pictures at the end, and this gives a little taste of Calgary culture and what you could say maybe the mood at the time, which, believe it or not, is over 25 years ago. So I'll close it out and say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I have my other social media links down in the description below, and of course I'm recording this on Christmas Eve, so hopefully you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever you celebrate. And just want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.